Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pineapple Podcast. I am your host, Mitch Parmasar, and today we have two very special guests. We have the Dijons. Please, guys, welcome and introduce yourselves to our members.
Hello, thank you. I'm Diana.
I'm John. Thank you for having us, Mitch.
Oh, you're
And
most welcome.
together, Dijon.
Yeah,
That's simple. It's not mustard.
I'm on the right side.
Love the name, love the name. So, for the sake of our viewers, Dijon is basically a real estate company coming together from a super couple. These guys have been investing about just over 3 years now. And the real main story here is that when you believe in a certain way of getting to financial freedom and you put your heart and your soul into it, you combine that with the right friends, the right family, people around you, your network, then you can really scale yourself. And, today we're talking to them. 3 years ago, they really weren't sure what it is they were going to do. They were in the 9 to 5 world, getting by, having a decent life, but not really living their dreams. Then they embraced the real estate world, got into the right communities. Today, they are pioneering some amazing developments and stories and journeys. And I thought it would be brilliant to just have them to come in, share their stories, and let us learn about their investment journey, their stories, because again, we're all in the same boat, guys. We're striving for financial freedom. So tell us, how did you really get started into the real estate world?
Should I start it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna
You know
start
how
it.
it is.
How do we just even get, because we had no background or experience at all, but always had a love of design. I've always had, John always helped me around the house with renovations. And it came to a point in our life, we were always saving for big ticket items. We saved for our house, 20% down payment. We saved for our wedding, all cash. And there's a lot of people, and save for like kids. And then our youngest was 2 years old. And it's like, okay, we felt we had a bit of independence. I mean, they're two, they can walk down the stairs without getting hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we need to plan for retirement now. And my background, I'm a defined benefit pension actuary. So like, this is what I do. And I know the calculations. I know what you need to save in order to have this income. And so running those calculations to live like our current lifestyle, using a 5% return on investment, because I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
We needed to save $3,000 a month to retire. That would let us, like, we'd have to retire at 65. And it's just like, that's the eye opener, right? It all comes down to the numbers and you're like, holy crap, like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of money.
It's just like, okay, just open the door and the mindset, like there's gotta be some other way. And John bought me a Kindle for Christmas that year. It was 2018. And the first book I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that book just changed, like, it was like the eye opener. And I was telling John all about it. It didn't really sink in until like I saw a 2-hour free session with Scott McGillivray. I got us the tickets. And it's when he heard Scott speak that it resonated with him. And he's like, this is what we need to do. This is the path we need to take.
That's exactly what I said.
And, you go, you jump in. It's a big investment. But we knew, like, and it's our mentality too when we do our renovations, like, spend the money to do it right? To avoid all the costly mistakes. And so that's how we looked at it. I mean, I was hesitant. It was a lot of money, but John is always the one that's the drive, and he's like, no, we need to do this, and it was a big investment, but you always have to invest in yourself. And we've continued this journey by continually investing ourselves, like it never stops. So that is one thing to keep in mind when you get into this. It doesn't just stop with one course or something. You're gonna keep going as you grow, as you grow and want to try to master other skill sets or strategies.
Right. So this is an important topic that I really want to impact a little bit, because a lot of people feel, yep, just go buy a house and that's it, get started. But really and truly, you're saying some really powerful and important things. You started the journey by investing in yourself. You read a book, a powerful book, because these are ideas and things that are existing for all of us, right? It's out there.
Yeah.
But until we don't take that book up, until we don't really get into it, because the school system, I mean, we love the school system, it educates us, but it really creates or defines our roles as we go through the system to become a world-class employee.
Yes. Yes.
They don't give you that liberties. The government budgets and plans for your life to end at 65 in terms of the workflow.
Yeah. I just thought that was
Yeah.
normal. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. And it is for so many of us, right? Because even breaking out from that system, it's not easy because you still have the bills to pay, right?
Mhm.
You still have to, you only have 24 hours no matter who you are. So here I am working 9 to 5, and really and truly, my boss needs me 9 to 8. I'm really about 60 hours a week, getting paid for 40, and that cycle just keeps going and going and going. And then when you get home, young family, that's another draw on your time, right? So
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And
Yes.
that leads to burnout as well. So
that's
Yeah.
right.
And you know what? Yes, we took action and we invested with the knowledge. But then further than that is like what also helped us was just networking. Because yes, the course was there and everything, but I don't know, for me, for us, like we can relate better by hearing and seeing what people are actually doing. So
right.
then we
Yes.
dedicated like a month straight of just constant networking. We'd do it after work, phone calls, speaking with everybody. And part of that too was to figure out our strategy, because you'll learn that in real estate, there's so many ways to invest.
Yep.
That's
And
right.
we honestly thought we were going to be passive investors. We thought we were just going to like private lend.
Right.
And I know, right? Because
Yeah.
because we thought we had full-time jobs and young kids, we wouldn't have time for it. But it's when we like thought about our goals, and John's like, no, like I really want to do this. Like we want to do like the freedom, like I'd rather do this full time or what. And when you wrote down the goals, it was like, okay, well then we can't be passive. Like we're gonna have to keep growing and scaling. At the time, we thought we just had to keep scaling our own capital. And
Right.
so that's kind of focused our strategy to the underperforming, purchasing underperforming properties, to increase the value and then refinance. So that's how we got into the strategy.
Yeah. So the networking and writing down the goals determined the path that we wanted to go right on, because that is important as a new investor. You're looking at all
So
these
many things.
things, right? You're looking at so many
Yeah.
streams. What do I do? And that's how we did it. And I highly recommend it. If you don't know what it is yet, find it. Go network, read, gain all the knowledge you can off all people, and for us, we wanted to be in a room with people that are two steps or and a lot, and that have been there, have done that already, right? So also trap yourself in that kind of room, in that kind of atmosphere as well.
Absolutely. And I think one of the biggest thing coming out of this piece of conversation is take action, build that desire inside of you. We all read books and we all get motivated for a day or for a week, and then we fizzle back into the lifestyle that we have to deal with, the job, the family, the day-to-day. If you have a lawn, you got to cut the lawn every week. So we get back into routine. But when you
Yeah.
hold on to that desire, you hold on to the dream, you take action, because you're right about the strategies. I always tell people, when I coach people, I say, listen, all the strategies work, they just don't work for everybody. So we got to find yours,
Sure.
right?
For sure.
And I'm happy you said that, because ideally, the busy person, 9 to 5, the best strategy is passive, because you
Yeah.
get the time.
You think, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's not aligned to the goals, because now you spend time writing out your goals. And if
Yes.
your goals are 7 figures or high 6 figures, whatever that goal is, from two things, financial side and then a lifestyle side, right? They got to come together. You want to enjoy the lifestyle, man, you need the money. Whether you like it or not, that's a real statement, okay? You have the people that we see on the day-to-day. They enjoy the best, they do the best, they work their ass off because they are working towards a lifestyle. They know they need the money, and that's what real estate is. It's a vehicle that is fun. We provide a valuable service because we're providing shelter for people, but it is the mechanism by which we will gain financial freedom, right?
Mhm.
And in 3 years, you guys were robust because I look back and I remember your story in terms of, okay, where do we start? And today you're pioneering. And it's because you just embraced everything you learned, you embraced it. Every new technique or new commitment you made. And I love the fact that you talk about your network because I think there's a tremendous amount of strength in the network. I mean, I have to give
Oh,
kudos.
huge.
Yeah, I have to give kudos to people like Scott and Michael who created this Keyspire world because they are providing so much opportunities for people that otherwise we would not be able to, right? So
Mhm.
Right. It also gives you strength as well because real estate is a roller coaster, and it's a hustle, and there's going to be times where you're gonna dip down. It's going to be a gray cloud. Go to investors. They're going to give you that energy back. For me, like going to the meetups, I get so much energy back, and it's just like, okay, I'm reset, I'm ready, I'm focused, right? So yeah, it's also knowledge, but it's also
Support.
energy and support.
Because we couldn't turn to our friends.
Yeah, where are you going to get that energy?
yeah,
It's not this. They now like, and actually in the beginning when we started, we were very quiet. We didn't tell anybody at all what we did because we just didn't want the noise. We just didn't
right.
want to hear any noise. Like, forget it, just block it all out. We made one. It's not a mistake, but we told somebody, and then they were just like, well, why are you doing that? Why don't you invest in stocks? You get an 8% return, because they saw our first property, which was really, really, really scary looking. And they're like, what the heck? So
Yeah.
I know it was meant out of love, but after that, those comments, John's like, that's it. Like, don't tell anybody anymore now. So we were quiet to our
Yeah.
friends and family for a long time.
Yeah.
And so we needed to turn to people that knew and
yeah.
that knew what we were going through. Those are the people we turned to, and we went through really challenging times with the strategy we picked. And if we didn't have our network,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what would happen. Yeah.
But
It's a
it's
business.
key. Like this is a real conversation. And for our viewers as well, understand that their journey is your journey. It is where everybody starts from a place of just a belief. First, it's in the mind, right? You got to
Yeah.
think it, you got to believe it, you got to create it in your mind, then it transforms into reality. But you got to work at it, right? You really have to work at it, but it comes together. Like-minded people is what you're talking about here, because when you get into that environment, then you're talking to people who've done it. Like you said, John, 2 steps ahead of you is all you're looking for, because it's easier for them to bring you up. If they're 50 steps ahead of you, might be too far.
Yeah, it might be too far. Yeah.
You'll get a disconnect. So being smart around your community and finding the people in front of you 2 or 3 steps ahead, yeah, they can still reach your hand and pull you along, right? So
That's it.
I
Still
love
fresh.
that. I absolutely love that
It's
analogy.
still fresh in their minds, so they'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
That's
in
right.
any cause,
That's right. They remember your journey. They remember their journey, right? So I love it. So let's get a sense now. We talked about the fact that you jumped into real estate. It's been an amazing journey for you. But give us a sense of what does that mean? For me listening, I don't really know too much. Like, does it mean you bought one house, you bought 2 houses? Like, give us a sense of what that real estate acquisition is. Did it propel you into sort of like the 7-figure club? And then we'll unpack that a little bit more. But kind of give us a sense, what is the tangible assets that you have with real estate that you don't mind sharing?
Our main focus, so as we mentioned, was getting into the purchasing underperforming properties.
Yes.
And we, again, it was just through talking and networking. It's like, let's try to get as many units in one building as we could.
Right.
So, again, with a full-time job, apartment building on your own as a start is a lot of work. So we did like a 4-plex, right? Let's start with a 4-plex, underperforming. And from there, like, we say this to everybody, we learned everything from that 4-plex, like to renovations to tenant management.
Knowledge is power. So the first one,
property management,
so much value on the first one that we got, so much. And like Dee was saying, we wore all the hats.
Yeah. We gained all the experience, but then on that experience, by doing that work that we did, like, it also, we didn't do the renovations. We realized after that we needed to hire because we thought we could do it. And that's where you make sure you value your time. but those experiences also created our credibility, right? And then from that one, we did partner, and there we partnered as more financial partner, but we were willing to do the work. So we got into a bigger apartment building by putting in some money, but being like, hey, we'll do anything because we want to learn. So we also got a share for being working partners on that.
Nice.
And then by then building our credibility, and we sort of had tapped out of our own funds.
And how big is this building now?
That one was a 13 unit.
Okay.
That one, yes. And again, learned a lot from there. And then we tapped out of our funds, and we're like, oh, what do we do now, right? And then that's where you start to go into JV partnerships. So we knew what we were doing. We had the experience. And so now we became the working partners, and we had a financial partner. And you then start to, I think at first you're thinking like, oh, I'm asking people for money. But you start, it becomes a mind shift where it's like, no, we are helping people. Like there are people that just don't have time for this. They don't have the time to put the money we spent on the knowledge and the time we spent to learn these skills. And you start, your value and what you're putting to the table, what they're putting to the table. And then, so the next property was joint venture partnership, where we were the working partner. We put all of our skills to work now that we had gained, and same thing, did the underperforming, turn that around.
Right. So I want to go back a little bit on that, because you went through that brilliantly, but there's so much information in that, like really and truly, that's like a me, or that's like a person sitting and looking at this. They're like, yeah, I only have a limited amount of funds. So how do I buy 13 units? How do I do another development? So joint venturing is a powerful strategy, but I like the first one you did. The first fourplex was on you. You gained the experience, the knowledge. Now you know you can do it. You have your contractors, you've learned. So you actually paid yourself to learn, because when you buy a unit, you're actually educating yourself, but at the end of it, you're going to have equity, right? Then the next one, you actually joint ventured as the financial person, but then you quickly realize, I need to do some rapid capability here and change my dynamics. I'm coming into work as well. And you structure your budget so that your time is being compensated so that you can cover your expenses and what have you while the project runs. I love that, because now, this is what we talk about strategy. Like you could sit down in the traditional mode. I'm financial JV. Don't tell me about property management, but you've embraced it because you're shifting, because you want success at the end of the day. So JV now, you've realized the power in JV. So while your funds are sitting in equity positions in all the properties you continue to acquire, most of us as real estate investors were broke all the time. All the money is sitting in an equity position somewhere, right? It's never in the bank.
Yes.
So we're always tight with funds, right? But that's a good thing to be, right? Okay.
Right.
Being broke for the right reasons. Okay.
Yes. That's what I say. Yes.
Good broke. Good broke.
Good broke. That's it. So that journey is really powerful in itself. So I guess, from a learning perspective as well. So now, is this your strategy going forward? You're looking for, like, you do the joint venturing, you're finding the deals, you're working on the deals, you're pulling the renovations or the construction together. Give us an insight of what that looks like now. And then more so, like, what's the future for you?
Yeah, you know what, we're sort of like open to whatever works. Like we'll try to run the numbers, and it's like, if we can somehow, I love partnerships, I do, but then I also do like 100% share. Like you try to see if numbers work that way, maybe private or what. Like it depends. Honestly, it depends on the project. Like it's hard to say, but open to to whatever works, because we do love the value of the JV partnership. Again, and sometimes too, like we're now looking into deals where it's like 2 sets of working partners, and even one where there's 3 sets of working partners. Right. So it's changing. You have to be flexible. It depends on the project, how you're running the numbers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always it's been a cool change. Like, like you were saying, Mitch, that you're not entitled to just these categories, right? So it all boils down to your goals, right? So like if you
What works too.
whatever works, right? And there's deals that will come at you, but if it suits your goals, then why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that framing because one thing with this conversation, it's very real. I think people are going to connect with the fact that you change every day based on the situation, right? But it comes back to your goal. Really and truly spend that time, define your goals. It
That's it.
is going to change, but once you define it, then you're working with purpose. Then
Right.
you know, right? And then like, is the deal for me? Yeah, it is. Is the 13plex right? Yes. Am I going to figure out how to do it? Yes, right? Because it aligns with your goals, you
That's
know?
it. That's it.
Exactly. And going into the other deal, I love the fact that you said, look, every deal is unique. You can bring in a private investor, they make a pretty decent money, guaranteed money versus the bank maybe guarantee you 1% on $5,000 as a minimum, and then they give you 1.5% in bank fees. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the fact is, I know it's a networking of people that knows people because again, it's a small world when it comes to the real estate sort of communities, right?
Yeah.
But it brings tremendous value to people because what is the end game? Again, financial freedom. We want the lifestyle. We want to be able to come out there. We want to be able to not have to worry about money in the bank. We just want to be able to see our kids grow, our family, spend time,
Mhm.
travel, right? And that's the end game. And there's no better medium, in my opinion, anyways, than real estate. And you're proving that every day. Because every day you love it more and you're working harder at it. And it reaches a point where you can actually transition over, but now you're in it because you love it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is the multifamily kind of like your zone, or are you changing in terms of what types of properties you're looking to gain as well?
I think the multi-family zone, like the underperforming, is sort of like our staple. We've done quite a few of them, and we know that. But things again started to pivot when John went like full time in the game. Like, sorry, full time real estate
Hold
investing
on,
in
hold
March.
on. So let me hear that again. John is full time. He's bridged over from his 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
And again, we
Congratulations,
were
John.
talking. That's it. We were
In
talking about
March,
goals.
March 2022, which like let's tell
Right.
him, tell him.
We were talking about goals, right? And
Yes,
again, define, just like you said, Mitch, I will say it, define your goals. Our
yes.
goal was for me to leave in 3 years,
3 years.
March. We joined
Brilliant.
Keyspire. We took off 3 years. The 3-year mark came the past March.
Yeah.
And you
You're
know
like,
what?
it happened.
And we're like, you know what? We need to scale. We need to grow. I think now's a good time. And it was perfect timing for me
It
to
was.
pull that plug because we were taking on a lot of projects at the time. And yeah, see, you live it, you breathe it, you look at it
Yes.
every day. I talk to myself every day. I'm like, hey, like, this is it. This is it. We're going to do this. We're going to crush it. We're going to get there. 3-year mark, 2 weeks notice.
Oh my
Love
gosh,
it.
if you saw our bathroom mirror, oh my gosh, people would be like, what is that? We have a vision board, we have these
Yeah.
statements, we have our
Quotes.
goals on
I
there.
have
Like,
quotes up there just to keep that, just keep that flame going, right? Like
Yeah,
motivation
yeah.
every day. And now that I have more time, I do a lot of self-development now. But yeah, like you also want to be happy, you want to stay happy, at the end of the day. So
That's right.
so as I was saying, because he
Yeah.
left the 9 to 5, we became more open to other strategies of more quicker access to capital.
Yes.
Because the projects we do, they take long. They take a year plus to turn a building around, and
Year
all the
plus.
renovations. We do full renovations, and
Right.
so it's taking a while to see some money coming in. And then so we did a flip, and then we went into the short-term rental market, and we have a cottage, and so we were busy because it was active renovations on that since like January this year, and they're both done now, and we have a bit of breathing room while we now pick back on these development and bigger projects that we have that just take a lot more planning. So we're kind of back into those projects. But it's also, we're taking it as a breathing room opportunity because it's been go, 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 and you acquire, and no one really teaches you how to run a business and be a business owner. And this is a business. And so
That's right.
we need to work on documenting, like systemizing processes and procedures, really lay out this business structure, because we need to hire and we need to just have a clear picture of our business and our goals to then see like where do we hire and how do they fit in, because we just keep going, not stopping and thinking, but then we're not spending our time efficiently, and then we would get burnout.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, I mean, folks, you can get a better real life story than this. This is exactly how you become an entrepreneur. You jump in, you get action, you get going, you grow. Then as you're growing, you figure it out, right? And I think that's the beauty in what I'm hearing from you is that's exactly what you're doing, man. You're just like figuring it out. Or how am I best using my time? And that's a good metric, because ultimately you got to measure the time always. What is the best value, best use of your time? So, these journeys are just incredible. So I guess, from what you're telling me, it sounds like sky's the limit. You're going to continue to grow your business. You're going to start looking to hire people so that you're more efficient in the focus, right? Yeah. So I'm loving it. So are you looking at the Canadian market? Are you looking to jump into the US? Like if I want to connect with you guys, where am I going to go?
Yes, I know you're reading our mind.
You're right, our mind. You're right, our mind.
We are looking into we went to Curacao in November and have completely fallen in love with it, and the market, the government, the stable government there, and so we're looking into opportunities there to build and like looking into the US. Like we really like the short, like with this cottage, a short-term rental. I mean, the numbers, the cash flow, you don't have the landlord tenant board rules on you. It's just getting a bit challenging. It can be challenging with what we face as investors in Ontario.
Yes.
Right. So being open. So we're doing the research, we're getting the knowledge, we're speaking to the experts, doing market research. So we're sort of doing the groundwork to set us up for success if that's where we're gonna go. So
nice. So you're looking at the tropical market now, right? Resort.
Yeah.
So you're expanding your cottage business.
Yeah. This is why I'm looking for a pineapple shirt. That's one of the reasons why.
I have a pineapple bathing suit. I actually have a pineapple bathing suit. So.
I know she does. I'm still looking.
Looking. So we got to get a segment going in Curacao.
Yes.
Yeah. And
yes.
Mitch, part of us we went to Curacao and there was so many, there was opportunities and they're like, oh, but maybe later, why now? But then it was like, well, why not now? Like, why can't we enjoy it now? Because I guess we've been very used to projects that just take time and they're very hard. And
but it falls back to what you said, Mitch. It's a lifestyle too. And we're always pedal to the metal ever since, you could ask any investor, it's pedal to the metal always. And we always forget to reset. So, it's also a lifestyle too. And also don't forget to reset. So that's just a thing that it's huge. You got to balance it out. You got to balance it out.
And if we can get to our goals closer with a property that we can enjoy too, that can get us to those numbers, it's like, then why not? Right?
Why not?
So
absolutely.
It does take a lot of work though. It does, but everything
does. But then you get to enjoy, because you know what? If you were back in the old world, 9 to 5, you got to save that money.
I still am. I'm still in the 9 to 5.
But you're bridging out. So, it takes a little time to cross the bridge, but you're on your way. But for the regular folks, you really have to save and plan for a vacation. Now, if you're in this space, you get to own the resort and enjoy it, while at the same time, it makes some money for you, even if it pays for itself.
No brainer.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's lifestyle, man. That is what the dream is about. And you said it perfectly. Why not now? Why not now? Life is just too short and too precious,
It is. It really is. Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. 100%. So I guess, part of your journey too, you talked a lot about community. So I'm taking it that you allow your friends and your family to joining in terms of this journey if they wish to learn, if they wish to invest in a particular project to see it come to realization. That's something that you guys are pretty much open to, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we're very mindful. Again,
Yeah.
we don't like in our personal like family friend setting, we don't talk about what we do. Like it's like we'll just throw a little seed in there somehow. I don't know if a conversation comes up. If they ask us questions, then we will tell. You know, by slowly doing that approach, then it's the ones that keep asking the questions.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
we've had some friends that have invested with us now, like private lending, because again, we would say a little thing, like for example, what'd you do on the weekend? Oh, I went to this conference. What conference? Oh, real estate. Oh, what's that about? And you know, it's the people that keep asking questions have been the ones that end
Yeah,
up investing with us.
it's true. Yeah. it's
Right.
very
And,
true.
and
Yeah.
again, you know, I just want to sort of let people understand that this is a very close-knit thing. This is strictly with regards to relationship. This is just a few projects at a time, you know, because the beauty with your journey is you're very selective in the projects that you're doing, which I like. You're
Mhm.
choosing them in the right markets. You're choosing them based on what you can do in terms of a lifestyle, and you're building up yourself with that, right? So I really like that, you know. So Curacao, Ontario is the market, or are you across Canada? Looking at across Canada,
Yes, I mean, so far it's just been Ontario. Yeah, we
right?
haven't started looking across
Well,
Canada.
working partner, it's easier to take a car than to take a plane to work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's helpful. It is helpful.
Nice, nice. So yeah, so I mean, you know, when we look at other people as well, um, what would you say to people who wants, you know, they're just on that verge, they're excited, they want to make that transition, but they're a little bit hesitant because they feel like they're giving up something or they're not sure. And as you rightly say, unless you're talking to the right people who've been there, majority of people say, what are you doing? Don't risk your money. Don't do that. That house is falling apart, man. Like, what are you doing? Right. So how do you get away from that? How do you take the plunge?
To take the pledge to real estate investing.
That's right. Take the plunge and start.
Yeah.
Yes, it's keep your day job because the bank needs a T4
T4s.
in order to approve your mortgages. Okay.
Yeah,
So
keep your T4 as much as you can and
that's
stretch it out
right.
as far as you can.
That's right.
To me, fear is just an illusion. So if your heart's telling you want to go somewhere and you're getting doubts, go for it. Check it out. Talk to somebody, connect to somebody that's done it. And that will clear your mind on what you're looking into. And that's one thing that I love is, well, what I've learned off is just to be fearless. And there will be haters, there will be naysayers, but
Yes.
keep them there to give you fuel. Because the moment you take action, you'll look at those people a year later and you'll look at those guys in a different perspective for sure. Right?
That's right. And I've heard so many people actually talk about that where they use it as fuel.
Use
It
it as fuel.
fuels them are just going to prove you wrong, you know?
Yeah,
Just gonna
yeah.
show you.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't know. And whenever I would get a no from somebody, I'm like, oh, I gotta figure out a way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the beauty too. It's like, I guess people get scared, like, oh, if this happens, that happens. But I don't know. We've come to this point now, like your mindset changes. Every problem, like there's a solution. There's a way to figure
There's
this
a
out.
solution.
And
That's
when you
right.
have that mind frame when adversity comes, like that stuff just doesn't scare you because they we'll figure this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Absolutely. And I think some of the things too is guys connect with people. You know, there are so many programs out there that you can invest yourself into.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't, you know, and it depends on you. Invest because when you learn, you can go there, you can practice, you can see yourself grow and develop. If I've invested $100,000 in my education and I'm now making $1 million because I'm in a 7-figure club that was only a dream.
Yep.
How powerful is that, right?
Knowledge is power. And I say that to like new investors that we meet, like, yeah, well, we spent a lot of money in the beginning just for education and look at us.
We still are.
And we still are. But look at that launch we got, right?
That's
and
right.
like you look at these universities, it's a little bit more, a lot more. And it's just like, it's no brainer, right? So you have to
Exactly.
invest in yourself.
That's right. And let's frame that. You go to the university, you take on student debt. I hear people talking all the time, 10 years after they've left university, oh my God, I'm still working on
Yeah.
paying off that loan or what have you. And there's an opportunity right here with people who are ready to hold your hands and help you get through all of it,
Yes.
show you what I've done. And you can get money while you learn how to
Yes.
build houses, how to renovate houses, how to own houses, right? But seriously speaking, there is no better strategy for long-term wealth creation than actually holding on to properties, right? And if you
Right.
have children and you want to leave a legacy, I mean, how powerful a start in life they would have.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
huge
this is
too.
why we're doing. This is why we're doing it.
There
'Cause
are
we
why.
do not come from money. We're not getting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
trying to build this for our kids and also take care of our parents too. Again, like
Beautiful.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
they're
Be
big.
there.
They're big because they help us out so much. A lot of why we can do what we do is we do have our parents that help us watch our kids when we're out to properties or investor meetups because
Yep.
we're always out there. That takes time. It
It
takes a
does.
lot of babysitting hours.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's when we jumped in, we had a family and both full-time jobs. And how did we do it? We just did it, and we hustled, and we looked at our goals, and we're like, no, this is what we're doing.
And
Because
sacrifice. Like we're not we don't I say, like I think a lot of us, we just don't watch TV. We don't have
Yep.
time. And we
Yeah,
had to set a good schedule with our kids too. So we would work, then you have to make sure you're spending time with the kids, put them to bed, and then it's like real estate. So there's, that's also been how we get stuff done.
that's it. 24 hours in the day, so you're managing and you're juggling. And good
Yeah.
on you. I mean, to give to your parents is goal, and then providing for your children. You're right. What is it all about? It's about chasing happiness with your family.
that's
That's
it.
what it all boils down to.
Yep.
And you know what?
That's it.
The financial freedom allows you to get that time to
Yes.
enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm living that right now, and I love every day about it.
Nice.
And I know my kids are loving it.
Yeah, they love that daddy can pick them up and drop them off and pick them up at the bus stop.
Right.
Like
Nice.
that means the world to them that he can be there.
Absolutely. You know how precious that is, and that's something they will take into their adulthood as well, right? Like
Yeah.
I got that time with daddy. And pretty soon mommy would be able to transition out.
Yep.
This is great, guys. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. From a sort of a novice perspective or somebody who's now getting into the journey, hearing your story is going to really build momentum and confidence in them because, it's almost like you're like the everyday folk, but you're doing extraordinary things, right? And you're not just talking it, you're like demonstrating it, right? So,
Yes.
and success attracts success, right? So there'll be more people coming around you because of that. Everybody
And
wants to go.
and we're open. We want to help people. And you always learn to help and give back. Because we were there where we didn't know anybody and we were just, please, will you talk to us and let us know? And we were like, didn't know anybody in the room. And we know that feeling. I still remember that feeling. So please reach out. We're here to help.
Here to help.
Yeah.
I'm here to help. Anytime, throw me a message. I'm here for you. So I just want to throw that out here.
Yeah, that's great. And I will put your contact information in the comments below. So anybody who's looking at it, your information will be there and they can always reach out to you to have a little chit chat. So, so again, guys, thank you so very much. To our viewers, I hope you had a great value in this segment today because it's really all about getting into the bridge situation where you can bridge yourself out and into a new world or a new career that really allows you the lifestyle that people dream of, right? So it's important to bridge it out and don't be reckless and say, I quit tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you got to plan it out.
You could, but don't.
Plan it out.
Plan it out. It's better.
It's not recommended.
Yeah.
No, it's not recommended. Yeah. Fine print.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, to our viewers, guys.
Thank you as well for giving us the opportunity.
I love being with you, Mitch. You're just full of joy, and I love it. And I'm looking forward to taking that food trip.
Yeah, when are we seeing
When are
you?
we
But
doing
anyways, we'll
dinner?
plan it another time.
We'll have to take
I remember we
it off
talked
the
about food for an
podcast.
hour at my door, and I was just salivating. I'm like, hey, we got to make this happen.
We do. Absolutely. So once again, guys, thank you so much to our viewers. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Pineapple Podcast. I'm wishing you great successes in your real estate journey. Any last word from you guys?
Fear is just an illusion.
Yes, not ready for.
I know, but it is. It
Yes.
is confidence.
Yes. But
Own
you know
it.
what? Yeah. Learn, take action, and network.
That's
And
it.
honestly, don't ever forget, like, do what you need to do to be your best self. Just always also focus on yourself, because that's really important.
Right. You'll get shown the door, but it's up to you to walk through it.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks so much,
Bye.
Mitch. Appreciate
Bye.
it.